everyone. Today's video is going to require a pretty significant filter. I'm sporting a really lovely head cold. The video that I'm about to put up was partly recorded, the voice part was partly done after I came down with the cold, so you'll hear me probably sounding hoarse and stuffy in there, but you know, it is what it is. It's not the flu and it's not COVID, so it could be worse. I'm doing okay. What I have for you today is just a little video of a few small projects for the housekeeper's room in the bathroom. I have some more projects for the bathroom coming up, which I will hopefully be able to show you sometime early in February. I'm not sure when I'll get them done, but I'm going to try to get them done as soon as I can. So come along while I try to figure out what to do with these pieces, see what worked and what didn't. I'm using Rub and Buff to change the color of this towel rack. I think I've said before that I don't like the gold finish on a lot of miniatures. I think it looks sort of cheap and just not very nice. This is an antique gold Rub and Buff, and I'm just painting it on with a brush. I find it sticks to just about anything pretty well that I've tried so far, and I think it will just give this a nicer finish. Now I'm just using a soft cloth to buff this a little bit. I think what I'm actually using here, if I remember right, is a Kleenex or a tissue. Yeah, it looks like a tissue. I didn't have a soft cloth handy at the moment, but that's working well enough. You can see a little bit of it comes off, but mostly it stays in place, and you're just kind of buffing it to a nicer sheen here.
I did take a look through my fabric collection for something that would be suitable for towels to hang on here, and I really didn't have anything that would work to my satisfaction. So I've ordered a couple of pieces of flannel, which I don't know if it's going to look right or not. I've seen terry cloth dollhouse towels, and they just always look sort of odd and out of scale to me. Those loops, the loops of terry cloth translate to really big loops when you put them into a dollhouse, and it just doesn't work. So I'm going to try flannel and see if that might work out to make towels for this. So I'll let you know how that goes when I get the fabric in and try it out. The next thing I want to work on is this Krisenbahn kit, or Krisenbahn. I really have no idea how this is pronounced. This is a Victorian dresser set. It has a lot of lovely little pieces to it, really tiny little pieces. There is not a lot of explanation of how to treat this kit. The pieces are primarily all ready to go, in that they don't need assembly. There's a brush that needs assembling. There are some templates to cut out pictures for the frames, and there is a mirror that needs a little metal piece put in. But other than that, the pieces are as they will be. But they need to be painted or finished somehow, and there's just really not a lot of instruction on these kits on how to do that. So I did look up some videos online of other people finishing these kits. One person had used nail polish. I didn't have any nail polish and didn't feel like going out to buy any. So I went ahead and tried acrylic paint. And then I did what I should have done to begin with here, which is use the, I don't know what you call this thing, the thing that the pieces are attached to, but it's going to be thrown away. It's scrap. To test out my paints and figure out exactly how I was going to finish these pieces. I did decide that it would be a good idea to rough up the pieces a little bit with some fine sandpaper, so that they would take the paint a little better. So, that was a bit tedious to do, trying to get into these little tiny pieces with some little scraps of sandpaper, but I did get that done. I played around quite a bit with paint here. I tried using a little bit of silver, seeing if that would work as maybe sort of an overcoat on the white to give it a nicer look. I just really wasn't happy with the paint that I was using. It was a matte finish acrylic paint, and the finish was too dull. So that was just inexpensive craft paint that I was using, and then I remembered that I had this Galleria acrylic paint that I thought I would try out. But again, it was a matte finish, and it didn't really do exactly what I was looking for. What I finally ended up using for paint was the same paint that I do the white woodwork on the dollhouse in. It's the Bear that you buy at Home Depot. And I believe mine is an eggshell finish. I just have a jar of it left over, so I can't remember what the label said. And I used some of that to finally put a final coat of white paint on these. Still didn't quite have the shimmer that I wanted. So I addressed that by going over everything with a gloss medium, and I don't have footage of me doing that, but that's what I ended up doing, and then I finally had a finish that I was happier with. I bought this set of bathroom pieces from a shop on Etsy. I won't list the shop, and that's because I'm going to say that I wasn't quite as pleased with the quality of these as I hoped to be. I don't know what they're made of. There's no details in the listing about how they're made. I thought they might be 3D printed, but if they if they were 3D printed, I think I wouldn't have had some of the roughness around the edges of that trim on the lotion bottle, for example. Like the finish on these just wasn't really all that great. They were painted with something that looked to me like maybe chalk paint. So I didn't love that either. I thought it was a little bit dull for what I wanted. So I didn't use all of the pieces in the bathroom. The cover wouldn't fit into this jar, so that was a little bit of an issue too. I took a detail sander to the lid of that jar to try to shave it down a little bit to get it to fit into the jar. I mean, I like the shape of the pieces, um, and there's some really. The razor looked good, the toothbrush looked good, the soap looked good. That brush, I'm not sure what that brush would be for. The bathtub brush I liked, except for the as I said, the paint finish was dull. It seemed to be a chalk paint or something that I thought. I don't know. I don't think these pieces would in real life be that sort of dull chalky finish. I think they'd be more likely to have sort of a porcelain finish or something. So I had to think about what I would do with these pieces, and I haven't quite decided yet how I'm going to treat them. They are cute pieces, just not quite what I was expecting. Sorry I slipped off camera here, but you can see I'm kind of dealing with the sort of roughness of this finish. I'm not sure if it's the paint or the item itself that just had these bumps all over the back of it. Just not a nice smooth finish, so I was trying to take some sandpaper to it. Of course, that was taking the paint off. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these pieces. I do plan to use them because overall I like the shapes of them, but I think that I will be probably sanding them down and refinishing them in some other way. This is the gloss medium that I mentioned a few minutes ago. This is what I went over the Vanity set with to give it a more porcelain look finish, and this worked pretty well. I don't know if this is really how you're supposed to use gloss medium. I am not an artist, so I look at a lot of the things in the art aisle and go, what is that? But my daughter picked this up for me, and she does use paint and things like that, and it seemed like it might work out. So I had to toss out that footage because I completely went off camera, but all I did was paint a layer of this gloss medium all over all of these little pieces. Then I took out this Zap-A-Gap glue, which I thought I would use to apply these nail stickers to some of the pieces to give them that really pretty look I was after. Turned out I did not need to use the glue. The stickers were really, really sticky, as I suppose they would have to be for using for manicures. It was actually pretty tricky to get the stickers off the background. But look how pretty that is. I am so pleased with how these came out. I did use a teeny bit of the Zap-A-Gap glue to put the brush together here. I won't put you through all the footage of me picking these little tiny stickers off the background sheet and applying them to the pieces, but here they are. I will say that in spite of the fact that it was difficult to get the pieces off the backing, I had a really good time doing this. I just loved the results. I was a little concerned that they would look obviously like stickers, but they don't. They really look like part of the pieces. And I'm very happy with how they came out. Here are the pieces in place on the housekeeper's bureau. I did decide to give these pieces to the housekeeper. I don't have photos in the photo frames yet. I do have to do that still. But I wanted to get the general effect here for you. So I'm really happy with how these came out. I love them. I think the nail stickers just brought them to the next level. So I'm really glad I thought of using that.
Okay, so that's it for these little projects. I hope you found something in there to inspire you to try something. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.